My mom is obsessed with scavenging through trash. When I was 5, she picked up a jade bracelet. I accidentally cut my hand on it, and it became my personal spatial dimension. Since I had nothing better to do, I started stealing my dad's money and hiding it inside. By the time I was 10, I had nearly 300,000 in savings. When I was 11, my mom found a pair of glasses. As soon as I put them on, I could see the true value of any item. Using my 300,000 in savings, I began hunting for undervalued treasures. With antiques, my highest daily earnings reached 8 million. Before I even turned 18, I had secretly become a multi-billionaire. Once the college entrance exams were over, I was ready to reveal my true identity and stop pretending. But just as I reached my front door, I ran right into my dad and his mistress. He was forcing my mom to leave the marriage with absolutely nothing. My mom looked fierce, prepared to fight him to the bitter end. Just as she was about to speak, I rushed in and covered her mouth. Mom, don't be foolish. Dad's measly assets aren't even worth arguing over. Realizing it was me who had stopped her, my mom's tears began to flow instantly. Her gaze was complicated, filled with anger and sadness, but mostly the grievance of feeling she had raised an ungrateful child. In my heart, I cried out that I was being misunderstood. I wasn't siding with my dad. I simply looked down on his money. Sure, he ran a small company, but the annual profit was only 2 million. With the companies I've invested in, I could earn that amount back in a single day. It wasn't worth wasting time bickering with him. I was just about to speak up, to tell my mom to come back to the room with me, so I could show her the $100 million balance in my account. But my dad, desperate for attention, spoke first. Wang Xiaoying, look at what a failure of a woman you are. You don't know how to dress up, and you look so much older than your peers. Even the daughter you carefully raised, knowing you're being kicked out with nothing, is siding with me. Tell me, what's the point of someone like you even existing in this world? You might as well just give up. He puffed out his belly as if he were 10 months pregnant. Corners of his mouth curled up, his eyes full of contempt. His punchable face made my blood boil. I was about to snap back, but his dismissive gaze landed on me. Instead, even though you, little girl, spoke up for me, don't even think about following me. I won't be responsible for your college tuition either. My money is all reserved for Chanchan's future son. So don't dream of sucking up to me. I don't care for it. Just as he finished, I saw a green glow over his head. That's right. Last week, my mom found an unknown spice and added it to the soup. After drinking it, I could see colors on top of everyone's heads. Purple meant the person was having good luck lately. Red meant an impending bloody disaster or terrible luck. Pink meant their true love had arrived, or romance was blooming. And green meant they were being cheated on. My mom is a very traditional woman. Years ago, when my dad's business failed and he owed millions, she couldn't bring herself to divorce him. Since then, she took on jobs to help pay his debts. While developing her habit of scavenging trash, she wouldn't even look for another man. So how could she be cheating on my dad? My gaze shifted to the woman my dad was affectionately calling Chanchan. Big chest, thin waist. Definitely a seductive homewrecker. To be fair, she was prettier and more feminine than my mom, the kind men typically prefer. It seems she's the one cheating on my dad. Then I looked at her belly. Whoa, a massive deep red. A bloody disaster. That child won't make it. Noticing my gaze, Chanchan started trembling all over, acting like a fragile damsel in distress. She collapsed weakly into my dad's arms and said in a cloyingly sweet voice, "Honey, your daughter's eyes are so terrifying. It's like she wants to kill me. Does she want to hurt the baby in my womb? I'm scared. You said you'd be my hero. You have to protect me." Feeling her reliance on him, my dad immediately stood tall, shielding her like a grand savior. He turned to glare at me with even more fury. "Wang Pan, watch your tone. If I find out that you've actually laid a finger on my Chanchan, don't blame me for disregarding our blood relation and tearing you apart. My mom is the most protective person ever. She loves me more than anything." The moment she heard my dad threaten me, she rushed into the kitchen, grabbed a cleaver, and yelled, "I'll kill you all." My dad's face went pale. He and Chanchan quickly retreated to the door. Watching his heroic display crumble, my heart went cold. In the past, when debt collectors came knocking, my dad would hide under the bed like a shrinking turtle. Every time, it was my mom who risked her life to drive them away. Only then did those people fear coming inside. Once, a debt collector took a liking to her and tried to force himself on my mom. My dad covered his ears and pretended not to hear. I urged him to go out and help, but he just glared at me. "You little brat. Shut up. If you draw them over here, I'll strangle you." Later, fortunately, the bodyguards I hired with my own money arrived just in time to prevent a disaster. Since then, I've loathed my father. I always urged my mother to divorce him. "Mom, just leave him." But she was stubborn. She always felt she had to give me a complete family. Or perhaps she believed my dad would rise again. In fact, she was right. A year later, my dad caught a break in the market. His business started picking up, the debts were cleared, and out of gratitude, he bought my mom the 3 gold jewelry set and gave her 200,000 as a bride price gift. Our life improved, but my mom still didn't quit her scavenging habit. She was just afraid my dad would find it embarrassing, so she often wore a mask and snuck out at night to do it. Once, I had to use the bathroom at night and saw her sneaking out of the house. Half an hour later, she returned with bags full of stuff. The next morning, a pair of glasses appeared on my desk. I thought they were just ordinary glasses, but once I put them on, I saw the true value of every object. A month later, my dad used business difficulties as an excuse to reduce my mom's allowance. Afraid of returning to the hard times, I took the glasses to the antique street to find hidden gems. The first time, I spent 5,000 to buy a dusty-looking bracelet. I sold it for 300,000. After that, I did it frequently. In just one short month, I made 20 million. I even got to know the giants of the antique world. I had 20 old masters competing to be my grandfather. As for people wanting to be my father, there were even more. I once thought about introducing one to my mom, but she had no intention of straying from her marriage. I had to let it go. I also tried to hint that I could make a lot of money, but she always said I'd read too many power fantasy novels and lost my mind. I wanted her to see the cash in my spatial dimension, but she was so addicted to scavenging that she wouldn't give me a minute of her time. Plus, the family wasn't lacking money at the time, so I would just occasionally drop some cash or luxury goods near the trash cans she frequented. I left it at that. This secret was kept until my graduation exams ended. I was planning to come clean, but then my dad cheated. He really is destined to be without fortune. A life of poverty awaits him. The door slammed shut with a bang. My mom broke down crying. It broke my heart. I opened my banking app, unhid the digits, and prepared to show her the 10-figure balance that everyone envies. My mom was already wailing, clearly pushed to her absolute limit. How can I, a housewife, survive this? If I'm really kicked out with nothing, I can't live here anymore. How will I survive? I poked her sturdy bicep, built from years of carrying trash, trying to get her to look at my savings. But then, I heard her next sentence. If I leave this place, I'll never be able to scavenge again. Where else can you find trash cans where you constantly find cash? Piles and piles of it. What kind of trash cans give you LV bags, Valentino shoes, and 1 TB iPhone 17 Pro Maxes? What kind of trash cans have items that are brand new and never used? My movements froze as the corners of my mouth twitched uncontrollably. In disbelief, I grabbed my mother's hand. Mom, I asked tremulously. Don't tell me that the reason you wouldn't divorce him all these years was because you couldn't bear to leave those trash cans? My mom stopped crying. She gave me a look of pure disdain. What's with that judgmental look? Do you have any idea that by scavenging trash, I bought 2 villas in your name? This is the foundation for your future marriage. From the inner pocket of her pants, she pulled out a blindingly Hermes orange iPhone 17 Pro Max. She unlocked it quickly, opened her banking app, and shoved the phone right under my nose. You little brat. Look. Over the years, I've scavenged 20 million in savings. That's more profit than your dad's entire company makes. Isn't this place a gold mine? Do you think I'd let someone else have this? Even if we divorce, I must have this house. These trash cans belong to me. My jaw dropped. My mind was a mess. I didn't know what to say for a moment. I always thought she stayed because she couldn't let go of my dad. It turns out she couldn't let go of the neighborhood trash cans. And the culprit was actually me. After a long silence, I finally spoke. Mom. If you're so rich, why do you dress so poorly every day? And why do your wrinkles seem to increase day by day? Before I could finish, my mom sprinted to the bathroom like an Olympic athlete. After the sound of running water, she sprinted back to me. Good heavens, that skin was as smooth as a peeled egg. That proud expression. Those beautiful features. She was worth 5 chanchans easily. My dad really threw away a diamond for a pebble. My mom patted her face proudly. I go to a high-end beauty salon 3 times a week. My skin couldn't possibly be bad, but I was afraid your dad would find out. So I had to pretend to be poor. She grabbed me by the collar and dragged me to a dilapidated storage room. Then, right in front of me, she pressed an inconspicuous switch. Suddenly, from the closet filled with old clothes, there was a loud thud. The back of the closet opened, revealing an elevator. She pulled me in and pressed the button for the basement. The doors opened, and countless glints of light blinded me. I shielded my eyes for a while before I could process it. I was shocked by what I saw. A massive walk-in closet stretched before me. A jewelry section, a Hermes bag section, a luxury watch section. It was dizzying. I almost thought I had stepped into a luxury department store. Wow, my mom was actually a super rich woman. It turns out my dad was the stupidest and poorest one of all. Pan. This is the storage room I built at a great cost. Everything here is reserved for you. I cleared my throat. straightened my clothes, and prepared to reveal my own identity. Just as I opened my mouth, my mom pinched my lips shut. Pan. You've seen your mom's strength now, right? All of this came from scavenging. I will never hand this over to anyone. Don't even try to convince me to leave empty-handed. I'm calling a lawyer right now. No matter how much it costs. We are staying in this house. I made muffled sounds, signaling her to let go so I could speak, but she had already picked up her phone and turned away to talk to a lawyer. Yes, I want the house, at any cost. Watching her argue her case so fiercely, my feelings became even more complicated. Now, I really didn't know if I should tell her the truth about the trash cans. If I burst her bubble, once she's divorced, her only joy in life would be gone. But if I don't, my secret of being rich will have to be kept for a lot longer. After thinking it over, I decided to kill her only joy eventually and have her come work at my company. 50 is the perfect age for a new career. But when I went back upstairs, she was nowhere to be found. A new message popped up on my phone. She had already left for the law firm. Pan, I have evidence of your father's cheating. Don't worry, I will definitely secure this gold mine. I've thought about it. You aren't the brightest. You'll probably only get into a vocational college. No big future for you. Once I get the house, you'll come scavenging with me at night. You can save up and live a comfortable, lazy life. When you have kids, you'll pass the scavenging techniques down to them. Generation after generation. It will continue like this until we become a famous historical clan. After her passionate speech, she sent me a dozen links. These are all the tools needed for scavenging. I'm busy talking to the lawyer right now. Just buy them and have them delivered to the house. Then she transferred 10,000 yuan to me. Don't be afraid to spend it. This money was basically found for free, so it's meant to be spent. Found for free? Seriously? All these years, I worked hard stealing from my dad's wallet, hard at skipping class to find bargains, hard at building networking connections, hard at making money, and then even harder at putting luxury goods into trash cans. I was terrified someone else would take them. I even had to watch her pick them up every night before I could rest. In the end, I just shot myself in the foot. Gritting my teeth, I silently accepted the 10,000 yuan that was mine to begin with. My mom felt very gratified and sent me a scavenging guide. Like, which bin always has valuables? Which bin drops electronics? And which one drops Hermes bags? I gritted my teeth again and accepted the file. Then I used my connections to call my dad's biggest client. After all, he's the one who started all this mess. He needs to take responsibility. President Chen, I have a partnership I'd like to discuss. Hearing that I would cover the breach of contract fees and offer a 1% price advantage, he agreed to work with me without hesitation. He was going to break his contract with my dad. After hanging up, I felt much better. The next day, I specifically went to my dad's company to watch the show. In the meeting room, upon hearing about the cancellation, my dad was fuming. President Chen, are you kidding me? We're about to restock. Breaking the contract now. Do you know how much trouble that causes us? Qian stroked her belly and acted like the lady of the house. Yeah, if you break the contract, you'll have to pay 2 million in damages. President Chen impatiently interrupted them. Isn't it just money? I'll pay it. He paid and left coolly. My dad started smashing things in his office. Find out. Go and find out. Who was the one who snatched the deal? Seeing him get his comeuppance, I was satisfied and ready to leave, but my dad angrily called out to me. Go back and tell your mother that she'll never get her hands on that house. I won't give her a single cent. I didn't want to play nice anymore and kept a cold face. I'm not going to deliver that message for you. In fact, I suggest you obediently give the house to my mom. Otherwise. My dad was stunned by my arrogance and slammed his hand on the desk. Otherwise what? I'm your father. Are you actually going to be disrespectful to your own father? Exactly, Pan. Even if he divorces your mother, he's still your father. You can't be an unfilial daughter. You're an adult now. You should know right from wrong. Apologize right now. I rolled my eyes. After a dismissive snort, under my father's murderous gaze, I warned him word by word. If you don't sign the divorce papers within 3 days, and give that house to my mother, I guarantee I'll bankrupt your little company. My dad thought I'd lost my mind. You lunatic. I couldn't be bothered to argue about whether I was serious. He would find out soon enough. And indeed, that day while my mom was explaining scavenging techniques, my dad was outside, furious, pounding on the door whose code had been changed. Wang Pan, what the hell did you do? Why have all my partners cancelled their contracts? I activated the electronic lock and spoke to him through the door. Don't give me that nonsense. I don't have time to listen. Just tell me. Do you agree to my conditions or not? My dad's face, from sheer frustration, instantly turned the color of a pig's liver. Since he got rich, very few people had disrespected him like this. The air went silent for a moment. Just as I thought the deal was off and planned to add more pressure. My dad's voice, gritted through his teeth, came through. Fine, you can keep the house. We'll sign the divorce papers now. I told my mom to get the agreement ready. Mom, prepare the divorce papers. I went to open the door, but just as I opened it a crack, my dad shoved it hard. His hand almost slapped my face. Seeing that I dodged perfectly, his rage peaked. He grabbed a baseball bat by the door, ready for a second swing. I stood my ground with my arms crossed and warned him, Dad. I haven't destroyed your company yet only because of our blood tie. If you dare touch me, I promise you will never work in this industry again. I spoke with absolute coldness. My aura was even more intimidating than some heads of billionaire families. I didn't look like an innocent 18-year-old girl at all. He raised and lowered the bat several times, before finally tossing it on the floor. His gaze was complex. He asked again, Wang Pan. Who exactly are you? Why do they all listen to you? I certainly couldn't tell him now. If he knew I was that rich, what if he regretted the divorce? I brushed him off. You'll know in a month. There was going to be a grand auction at the auction house then. Everyone who's anyone would be there. It was the perfect time to show up with my mom and humiliate him, and maybe find myself a better dad. My dad misunderstood, thinking the person behind me could only appear after the divorce cooling-off period. He assumed I was finding a new stepdad. He snorted at my mom. Well played, Wang Shouhua. You've clearly been having an affair for a long time, getting your secret man to come after me. Whatever, I won't lower myself to your level. It's just one house. You can have it. He signed as fast as he could and left in a rage. I didn't intend to ruin him completely. After all, my first pot of gold technically came from him. There's a karmic link there. So once I got the divorce papers, I called my assistant to give his company a break. I also had them arrange a month-long graduation trip for me. Before I could even finish the call, my mom burst in, her trash bags rustling loudly as she slapped them down. Pan, check out what I found tonight. Full of excitement, Pan walked away. Come pick trash with Mom. Mom's taking you for some hands-on practice today. I'll let you have all the best and most expensive trash. My face showed a trace of bitterness, but my voice was firm. Mom, do you want to make a bet with me? I bet we won't find any good trash tonight. My mom crossed her arms, equally confident. What if you lose the bet? Then I won't go out to play during summer vacation. I'll stay and learn how to pick trash with you. My mom was as excited as if she'd won $5 million. She covered her mouth. This is great. My career finally has a successor. What are we waiting for? Let's go now. She walked ahead, full of energy. The corners of my mouth curled up slightly. Tonight, I deliberately didn't have anyone put luxury goods or money in the trash cans. I didn't believe I'd be the one left stunned. My mom nimbly walked to the first trash can. She reached inside with her right hand. Out came a shimmering, clearly expensive emerald jade pendant. And an unconscious, incredibly handsome soldier. A man covered in wounds. My mom clicked her tongue and, with one pull, dragged him out of the trash can. Then she shoved him into my arms. A beauty saves a hero. You're old enough now. It's time for you to start dating. I'll leave this one to you. Mom, are you joking? It took me a long time to recover before resigning myself to having my assistant find a good hospital. Just after sending the man to the emergency room, a news alert popped up on my phone. Zhou Yuli, the youngest son of Hong Kong's richest man, has been kidnapped. There was a massive reward for information. My right eyelid twitched. Trembling, I clicked on the victim's photo. Great, he looked exactly like the man my mom picked out of the trash can. I quickly forwarded the news to my mom. Mom, stop picking trash from now on. We're in big trouble. It's such a long distance from Hong Kong to Beijing. How did he get here? If I say my mom found him in a trash can, will they believe me? My mom was incredibly calm. It's fine. These are all minor things. Challenges mean opportunities. You're young. You don't realize good men aren't available on the open market. You have to strike while the iron is hot. Mom thinks this man has good features. He's your destined match. You two should get along well. I wanted to say more, but my mom whipped out a plane ticket to Sonia. Look, I'm getting old. I'm going on a trip. Handle this yourself. See you in a month. When I tried to message her again, I found that my mom had blocked me and run off. Truly my biological mother, dumping the trouble on me the moment it hits. I scratched my head in frustration. Finally, I decided to give him some money when he woke up and let him find his own way home. I shouldn't get mixed up in his family's power struggle. But when he actually woke up, I was stunned by what the doctor said. You mean he has amnesia from a head injury? The doctor nodded heavily. My face paled. When will he recover? The doctor shook his head, saying he didn't know. I slumped down onto the stool. Now everything is ruined. The culprit on the bed was still blinking at me. He grabbed my hand intimately. Big sister, I'm hungry. I watched this man, for years older than me, acting spoiled. I got goosebumps all over. Oh, my dear mother, you can't just pick up trash like this anymore. I had my assistant go buy food. After the meal, I quickly called the number from the news. I added their contact information. After taking a photo of Zhou Yuli, the reply came instantly, "Wait right there. Our master is coming by helicopter." While telling them to hurry and keep it confidential, I also spent a fortune on security. No matter what. Before Mr. Zhou Sr. arrived, Zhou Yuli had to stay alive and safe. Fortunately, everything was normal until Zhou Chongjun arrived. Seeing his son alive, the white-haired man excitedly grabbed my hand in gratitude. "Thank you for saving my son. Just name your reward for this life-saving favor. Anything within my power." "No need, as long as he's okay. I don't lack anything." After saying that, I wanted to slip away. I didn't want anything more to do with this hot potato. Suddenly, a pair of large hands grabbed my arm. That aggrieved voice rang out again. "Big sister. Don't you want me anymore? Am I not your favorite person anymore? Didn't you promise to be with me for the rest of our lives?" The entourage from Hong Kong all fixed their inquisitive gazes upon me. Fearing they would think I was exploiting the situation, I explained repeatedly, "No, no, no, don't misunderstand. It's just because his amnesia makes him too clingy. I was just talking nonsense. Don't take it seriously." Especially fearing Mr. Zhou Chongjun would misunderstand, I emphasized every word. "I swear, I have no designs on your son. I have absolutely no intention of marrying into wealth. Besides, I am already wealthy, very wealthy. There is no need for me to climb the social ladder. I have things to do. I'm leaving now." Unexpectedly, Zhou Yuli grabbed my hand stubbornly. He closed his eyes and fainted. A man over 1.8 meters tall collapsed onto the floor. It gave me a huge fright. The doctor arrived and advised me, "Miss Wang, he currently lacks a sense of security. He is quite dependent on you. He also can't handle stress. I suggest you spend more time with your brother." I was about to retort that he wasn't my brother and was actually older when Zhou Chongjun suddenly bowed 90 degrees. "Young lady, until my son fully recovers, please, I beg you to stay with him." Looking at the blindingly bright golden aura of wealth on his head, I could no longer say no. This man's fortune is booming. He'll live to be at least 100. Building a connection with him would be beneficial for me. Fine, I agree. But no one told me that an amnesiac Zhou Yuli would be this clingy. Whenever I was out of his sight for even a moment, he'd spam me with messages. "Big sister, what are you doing? Big sister, I've already eaten 5 oranges. Why haven't you shown up yet? The doctor said my leg is better. I can be discharged now. Big sister, come pick me up quickly." Looking at 109 unread messages, I sighed. It seems for the auction next week, I'll have to bring him along. The auction happened to be on the same day as my mom getting her divorce certificate. In the morning, I accompanied her to get the divorce papers. My father made a harsh declaration. "From now on, our relationship is severed. We will never see each other again." In the afternoon, we bumped into each other again at the auction entrance. He saw the young and handsome Zhou Yuli, and then saw my mom, who had removed her heavy makeup and looked 10 times younger and more beautiful. My dad thought my mom had found a toy boy and was here to show off on purpose. He ordered the security, "Stop them. Hurry up and throw these uninvited, random people out of here." The commotion was quite large. The onlookers pointed at me and whispered, "Who dares to cause trouble at the Fuxing Pavilion auction?" Exactly. Everyone knows Fuxing Pavilion has been backed by a mysterious tycoon for 7 years. Not only can they always source rare antiques, but they've also built many connections through that backer. Their business is booming. This is going to be interesting. They've met someone looking for trouble. I really couldn't stand them staring like they were watching monkeys at a zoo. I flashed the black card in my hand. In an instant, the whole place went silent. The security guards who were about to charge also froze in place. They all recognized it. This was treatment reserved for VIPs. This kind of card, Fuxing Pavilion has only issued 10 so far. The way they looked at us changed from disdain to respect. Some even tried to figure out our identities, wanting to make connections. Only my father still couldn't grasp the situation. He pointed at us and shouted, "Are you deaf? What are you just standing there for? Hurry up and seize them. Are you going to let these irrelevant people compromise our security? Country bumpkin? Who are you calling a country bumpkin? That top-tier black card from Fuxing Pavilion is theirs. Even the boss would bow to welcome them. Not only do you not recognize it, but you're courting death by trying to kick them out. Aren't you the bumpkin?" Just after he finished speaking, my dad's disbelieving gaze landed on me. He let go as if struck by lightning. "How is this possible? The one with the black card is my daughter. She just finished her high school exams. How could she be a VIP at Fuxing Pavilion? Listen, old Wang, she must have found this card. Quick. This mother and daughter are thieves. They stole something from your VIP. Seize them and send them to the police immediately." As soon as he spoke, a voice of disapproval rang out. If she's a thief, then why would Hong Kong's richest man let his own son follow them? This sentence threw them into shock once again. They all turned to look at Zhou Yuli standing beside me. His background was actually that powerful? My dad's gaze changed instantly. Thinking the black card belonged to Zhou Yuli, he dropped his previous disdain. He handed over his business card and approached eagerly. "Mr. Zhou, my daughter is young after all. She might be inconsiderate. How can you leave such a valuable card for her to keep?" Let me handle it instead. As he spoke, he smiled and tried to snatch the black card from my hand. I took a step back to dodge his hand, looking at him with a smirk. Who said this black card belongs to Zhou Yuli? The smile on my dad's face froze. He thought I was putting on an act before he could put on his elder airs again. I pulled my mom and Zhou Yuli into VIP box number 1. He tried to follow us in but was stopped at the door by bodyguards. Sir, box number 1 is reserved for VIP guests. Your status isn't high enough. Please do not force your way in. Otherwise, we will have to ask you to leave Fuxing Pavilion. My dad's face turned red as he tried to say something, but Chan persuaded him to leave. Honey, let's find a place to sit first. Come on, this is about buying the jade to bless your son's safety. A jade Buddha. Don't let anything distract us. A jade Buddha? What a coincidence. I like it too. Today, they are destined to buy nothing at all. The charity auction began. The first item was the jade Buddha because the quality was average and the size wasn't large enough. Most people weren't interested. There were better items coming up later. There were only a few bidders, including my dad. And he was the wealthiest among them. He thought he had it in the bag. At the final bid, he added to their 1 million bid, raising it to 1.5 million. Once that price was out, no one else followed. Listening to the auctioneer's prolonged second call. 1.5 million going twice. He relaxed completely, leaning back in his chair, waiting for the final gavel. But just as it was about to fall, the big screens in the hall refreshed instantly. The auctioneer's voice suddenly spiked. Box number 1. Bids 3 million. Any higher bids? My dad's face immediately looked as frustrated as if he'd eaten dirt. 1.5 million was already the limit of what he could afford. Chan got anxious. Honey, your daughter has clearly hooked a rich man. She's deliberately targeting the baby in my belly. I don't care. I dreamed that our son wanted it. You must get it. These words gave him an idea. He comforted her. Don't worry. I'll go ask her for it later. I am her father. She won't refuse me. As he finished, the auctioneer's gavel fell. 3 million. Sold. My mom looked pained. She pulled out a bank card. You silly girl, asking for 3 million just like that. Do you know how much trash your mom has to pick to earn that? Well, never mind. My money will be yours eventually anyway. Take it and spend it. I was amused by her expression. I pushed the card back and showed her the balance on my phone. Mom, you underestimate your daughter. Count how many zeros there are. She snatched the phone away. She actually counted the zeros back and forth 5 times. By the 6th time, her whole body was trembling. She looked at me as if I were a ghost. Good heavens, where did you get so much money? Did you rob a bank, or did this young man's family give it to you? The Zhou family did offer. But I politely declined. How could such a huge favor be settled with just money? Wouldn't I be losing out big time? Guess why your daughter can enter box number 1? My mom instantly understood what I meant. She rushed over and hugged me. Truly my daughter. But she quickly pretended to be angry. She pinched my face. I thought you were a dummy. But I didn't expect you to even trick your own mother. You must compensate me, your mother. I'm just missing a pair of earrings. You must get them for me today. With my approval. She didn't hold back. She won a pair of emerald earrings for 10 million. When the 10 million bid was announced, Chan couldn't sit still. She screamed in agitation, Wang Dajuan, are you crazy? After the divorce, how much money did you actually give that mother and daughter? They're just buying $10 million items like it's nothing. Before my dad could even answer, I spent another 50 million on a Warring States period white jade dragon gate disc. Then I spent 60 million for a Qing dynasty treasure seal. In just 20 minutes, I had spent 100 million. Now, not only was my dad shocked, but everyone else was stunned as well. For them, they couldn't even manage to produce 100 million in liquid cash so quickly, let alone Zhou Yuli, who was just the tycoon's son and hadn't even taken control of the business yet. So, this money could only have come from someone else. They were no longer focused on the auction. They started investigating my identity. What they found was even more incredible. Good heavens, the actual controlling shareholder of Xing'an Group has changed to Wang Pan. What? She also owns 40% of the shares in Jian Shipbuilding. Look at the announcement. She has been adopted as a goddaughter by all those retired big shots. God, she just finished high school. How is this kid so powerful? Why couldn't she be my child? As they spoke, they glared at my dad with intense envy, feeling their envious gazes. My dad felt no joy at all. Only the regret of having missed out on a $50 million jackpot. He never expected that my previous threats were because I myself already possessed incomparable connections. It wasn't because my mom found another man to back her up. He waited until the end of the auction, then rushed to the box entrance, wanting to claim a connection with me, but others were faster than him. They lined up to hand me their business cards. He couldn't squeeze in at all. When I came out, he tried to approach, but was pushed aside again. Caught off guard, he fell to the ground, landing right at my feet. He looked utterly pathetic. I helped him up, and even thoughtfully brushed the dust off his knees. My dad was overjoyed, thinking I still considered him my father. Then he heard me speak again. Wang Dajuan. I see in your face that you are destined to be deserted by everyone. You were never meant to have a son. I suggest you check if the child in her belly is actually yours. He instinctively wanted to scold me, but then he noticed Shanshan's guilty eyes, and he shut his mouth. If what I said was true, wouldn't he be raising another man's child? Being cuckolded is never a small matter. He grabbed Shanshan and rushed off to get a paternity test. Watching his retreating figure, I curled my lips. I wonder what his expression will be the moment he sees that report. Just as I was thinking that, my mom whispered in my ear, Pan Pan, you do your thing. Mom's going to follow them to watch the show. I'll film it later so you can have a laugh too. Without waiting for my response, she sneakily followed them. I was about to tell her to be careful, when the silent Zhou Yuli suddenly spoke. Do you need me to go check for you? Hearing a tone different from his usual spoiled whining, I quickly turned around. I asked excitedly, have you recovered your memory? He nodded, a faint smile in his eyes. Yes. Thank you for your hard work during this time. Can we have dinner together tonight as a thank you? Before I could even say no, he sent me the restaurant address. Doesn't your company want to expand into Hong Kong recently? I can help with that. Can't we talk while we eat? The refusal rolled on the tip of my tongue, but I swallowed it. People can struggle with many things, but they shouldn't struggle with money. Sure, I'll be there on time. Zhou Yuli left contentedly to find my mom, while I stayed behind to network with the business owners. Spending 100 million so publicly today was precisely to catch the attention of these businessmen. It was to pave the way for my future ventures. I'm very satisfied with the results. After finalizing some collaborations, it was already evening. I hurriedly hailed a car and rushed to the restaurant. While in the car, I received a video from my mom. In the video, my dad and Shanshan were brawling. My dad's face was distorted with rage. He aimed his punches at her stomach. You little tramp, I divorced my wife for you and abandoned my successful daughter. And you actually cuckolded me. You wanted me to raise some bastard child. You old fool. You're old and pathetic. If it wasn't for your money, do you think I'd be with you? Someone like you who abandons his family deserves no son. I curse you. You are destined to have no descendants. My mom was delighted. Her messages kept coming one after another. Pan Pan, Mom is so happy. Your dad's bits were ruined. He can't be a man anymore. Tell me, how did Mom get so lucky? I raised such a good daughter like you, and picked up so much money through my own hard work. Anyway, enough of that. Your mom is getting ready to go pick trash again. I was just about to come clean when the car stopped at the restaurant entrance. Fine, if she loves picking trash, let her. Anyway, I've got her back. After entering the restaurant, Zhou Yuli gallantly pulled out a chair for me. He didn't say a word, just looked at me with smiling eyes. He stared so long my skin started to crawl. I thought he was going to make a move, but then he suddenly said, Pan Pan, I've always wanted a younger sister. Could you accept me as your big brother? I let out a long sigh of relief. I nodded without hesitation. Being a sister is much easier than being a girlfriend. I have plenty of money. I can't be tied down by just one man. While secretly celebrating having another strong supporter, my mom's phone call came in. As soon as I answered, I heard a scream that almost pierced my eardrums. Oh no. This time, Mom picked up a handsome older man. Mom's feeling dizzy again.